Hello, I'm your host, Reen Diane of the Focus Lounge podcast. I just want to take a moment and thank you for tuning into this episode. I appreciate you following along the journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the lounge. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Reen Diane with the Focus Lounge podcast. And today, I don't know if this is really going to be considered an episode or if I just want to share some things with you. Life has been happening, and I had an eye-opening experience as to why it is important that I follow through with the Focus Lounge podcast. In the very beginning, I said that things were not going to be perfect because I'm new at this, but the message is more important than being perfect. On Thursday, my mother had a heart attack, and it was interesting that she was dealing with some things that she thought it was heartburn. And so she was taking some Tums and she was just trying to ride past it, but all along it was considered congested heart failure. Praise God, nothing happened to the point where she was at great risk, but just not knowing the signs of what to look for is what the Focus Lounge podcast is supposed to be about and will be about. I was trying to make certain that everything looked perfect and that I was doing everything exactly the way that it needed to be done so it can be received. But the way things look as of Thursday night, going into the weekend of Memorial Day, I realized that the message is most important than anything in life. So the month of May was going to be a topic on recommitment. And here we are at the end of the month. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and share now with you some of my findings. And the reason why we need to recommit is because the doctor was saying that when a doctor prescribes you some medication, of course, they don't know right offhand which one is going to work with you because our bodies are so different. So I deal with a family that does holistic things. A lot of times they may not follow the doctor order. So growing up seeing these things, it became a part of my lifestyle as well. Dealing with the different health issues that I have, I realized that it is more important as now to follow the doctor order, because at least following doctor order, they can wean us off the medication if we fix the issues that are at hand. So I want you to remember, regardless of what we're going through, it doesn't mean that it has to be something that we're dealing with for a long life, okay? If we tackle the issue at hand up front, it puts us in a better position. So I'm going to be looking at my notes. I wrote something down about recommitment. Recommitting yourself to yourself is what we need to do. It can be a powerful way of regaining focus. We have to get back focused. It gives us that motivation and direction in our life. Here are some tips that I wrote down. We need to identify your values. We need to take some time to reflect on what is most important to you in life. This includes things like family, your career, health, spirituality, or community. Once you have a clear sense of your values, you can use them as a compass to guide you and direct you, and you can take better actions. All right, number 2 would be set goals. We got to set goals. We have to identify specific measurable goals that align with our values. These goals should be challenging, but achievable. Okay. We need to challenge ourselves to do things, no pain, no gain, as they say, but they need to be challenging yet achievable. Don't set a goal that is going to take you a real long time to achieve. Take baby steps. If you want to go on a diet, don't start by going cold turkey. Just take baby steps. Maybe start increasing your water intake and cut out the breads. And when you achieve that goal, check it off. Pat yourself on the back because it's an achievable goal. And then you keep adding to it. And the next thing you know, you're mastering. Okay? So achievable goals will help you move closer to your ideal vision on your life. All right, the next thing for step 3 that I had is create a plan. We got to create a plan. Break your goals down into smaller, measurable steps and create a plan to achieve them. This might involve setting deadlines, creating a schedule, or enlisting the help of friends and others, because we need that accountability partner. We can't do things by ourselves. A lot of times we step out and we try to do things on our own, and then when we don't see things happen when we want them to happen, we give up. So we want to go ahead and make certain that we set goals. So the first one was identify your values. The second one is to set goals. And the third one is to create a plan. All right, so now we're going to practice self-care. Self-care is not being selfish. We don't take time to love ourselves. Nobody else will. So what we want to do here is practice self-care. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. This might include things like getting enough sleep, eating well, exercise regularly, practice mindfulness, or seeking therapy or counseling. Exercise. Many of us go to the doctor says, have you exercised? Just because we walk around the mall, we can't count that as exercise. We have to get in at least 30 minutes of vigorous activity, okay? At least 5 days a week, because this is going to help us. It's going to help us. Grab a friend. If you have a dog, get your dog. But we got to get out there and walk. We have to walk. All right. And step 5, we want to stay accountable. Accountability is really hard. I'm guilty. I'll start something, stop it. And that doggone procrastination really gets in the way. But you know what? Accountability comes when we set a plan in action. All right, we set a plan, we take action, then our accountability kind of stands up better. But it's better to have someone to work along with you. So what I have for accountability is hold yourself accountable to your goals and plan by tracking your progress and celebrating your success. You might also consider enlisting the help of a friend or mentor to hold you accountable and to provide support, encouragement along the way. We have to get ourselves in a place where we are more accountable. All right, so remember, recommitting to yourself is an ongoing process that requires patience, all right, persistence, and self-compassion. By staying focused on your values, setting goals, creating a plan, practicing self-care, and staying accountable, you can build a life that is aligned with your deepest desires and aspiration. So remember, in the Focus Lounge podcast, our goal is to get back focused on us. Today, I want you to take a moment, just like I have, and recommit to yourself. Regardless of what you gave up on, don't give up on you. Okay? You've come this far, so you're here for a purpose. So let's make every moment count. Get out there today and tell yourself, hey, you know what? I love me. And I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start holding myself accountable. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Focus Lounge podcast. I guess it became an episode. I didn't realize it. And remember that your message is far more important than being perfect. Have a blessed one. Thank you for tuning into this episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and also on YouTube. Remember, Focus Lounge Podcast. Subscribe today. Thank you for tuning in.